guys, welcome to the channel for a new battle report. This is game number 2 of Bellum Lacum. I was paired against Juvin, who was playing Dwarven. So we had a good start and we wanted to continue on the good run on the second round. So you know already my list, and he was playing the following list, which is basically an MSU shooty dwarf, you could say. Very symmetric list, everything is on the double. Looks a bit like a list that you could have seen a couple of years ago with a double grudge, double minus, double organ gun, a little bit double of everything, so a bit old school list, really around the shooting and MSU. What is going to be obviously huge in this matchup are the flaming option on the organ, which basically makes them not so useful against me, plus the Forge Warden were also flaming, so definitely not an easy matchup for my opponent. We played Divide and Conquer on Bottleneck. Yeah, I think good news for me, this flaming shooting is going to limit the amount of damage he can do, and therefore it's going to be hard for him to fight me also in combat because he hasn't so much combat power, no big block, so yeah, could be a bit tricky for him. Minus will challenge the primary, so Divide and Conquer, I think usually Dwarven could be quite good on this one. They have a lot of scoring unit. MSU generally speaking are good, and even more when you have ambush. And that's what he should have. My game plan, you will see, will be quite interesting on this one. I'm planning to take board control early on and basically to take the 4th quarter as soon as possible in my control. Therefore, kind of nullifying what the miners can do, because even if they ambush, if I'm everywhere, I couldn't really win it based on that. And as soon as I clear some of his scoring, I should be able to win it. So I plan it to draw it on the short term and win it on the long term. Secondary, I had to take 3 standard, which is doable because he has plenty of them, and he had to kill my Torque Anointed or Vassal with bow, and I think both units I can protect them. Pass to victory. Yeah, for me to take the map will be key. Range damage, obviously, shooting magic should hurt him big time. He has a small unit, so I can take some unit. For Dwarven, yeah, minimize my aggression, defend, use the grudge as counter and flank. He could use my limited projection, my limited push forward, to be far away early on, and then use the grudge on the flanks to counter me if I push too aggressively or if I make any mistake. Overall, I felt good about the matchup. Deployment wise, my opponent is going to win the role and elect to be the defender, is going to give me the impossible. I'm going to drop everything for first turn, so he has the big center. I think that was his main point, was probably to have the big center and avoid me getting the big center. I think was the key for him. I drop everything for first turn, obviously. So I'm going to go with a left flank. You need to imagine the board being obviously empty at this time. So I put left flank my Vassal Levies because they are threatened by Organ Gun Flaming. And I thought if I put them far left together with the Overlord can play around Impossible, be hidden, and give leadership to those guys. And at the same time, if he then isolate one of his organ gun on the left to manage those guys, I would be quite happy because they would be far away from the rest. So I kind of get that. I anticipate him to go towards the left by deploying a strong right. And in that kind of push situation, basically you need to make sure that you are strong enough on the strong flank to not allow him to make a breakthrough. And at the same time, to be strong enough, but at the same time not to be too compact to have a chance to reach his battle line. So my plan would be to go left from the Rhine with my Bastion. I calculate that my Lugar can reach in one movement the Rhine, the Vassal Levies can reach the forest, the other Lugar can reach the forest, and then jump into the field, which is a key position for them, strategic position, because no matter what he sends here, I'm going to have light cover, and at the same time we're going to fight with reroll to wound for me, which is excellent. So yeah, that's the way I go. Central with my war machine, and on the far right to close the flank as I usually do, Torque Anointed, because they are fast and they do that well. My opponent took his time out and went with the following: a weak flank with more mobile unit. He put 2 shooty unit, the 2 grudge and the little copter, so more mobile unit and shooty unit, and the rest on his other flank. So here you have Deep Watch, Greybeard, Forge Warden in the front, and the 2 organ gun on the far left. Basically you want to stop me from pushing here with the organ gun, and would potentially try to stop the advance of my Bastion also with some shooting, despite the fact that it's flaming and it shouldn't do much on my Bastion, but that could be his way to to act. So put me far away and deplete what I'm going to send towards him. Could be his game plan. My turn 1, I go into the ruin. I kept out of range with the bastion for turn 1 because I didn't feel too necessary. I thought that I can push then 8 and 8 and be turn 3 into his quarter. Those guys turn around, they go out of the way, they don't want to go in range. And here I start to push, and again I calculate that turn 3 I can be here. So I can easily be one here, keep one of those here, and have those guys to be in this one. And therefore I would be in all 4 quarters. That's the idea. Magic phase, I'm going to get a fireball, 1 wound on organ gun, he dispel the rest, he's turn 1. Nothing crazy to mention, but you will see shuffles around, move out with his shooter, shuffles around with the grudge, push a bit the organ guy, move those guys towards the left. In the magic, I also got, tidal flame on his little guy here, and I killed 2 of them, and he dispel pyroflow. That's what I got for magic. Nothing crazy for him. My turn 2, I continue to push to be inside the quarter, even if he blocks my bastion, so I push again with my Lugar. They can be out of the ruin for now, that's fine. Here I stay put, I'm hidden, he has plenty of shooting. I continue to do magic here, and I'm just zoning the grudge with my unit, so I'm fine. I leave on purpose a room in my backline so he can ambush all the way where he wants. Basically all the backline. I don't want him to ambush in the front, those are strategic points for me, so I wanted to keep that. And if he ambush in my back, basically my thought process is, okay, he's going to score 1-2 turn, but in the meantime I'm going to grab those flags, and that's my secondary, so I can eat those guys. That's point plus secondary. I would be happy to, so I think they would be easily trapped. And actually the idea of him scoring and winning the primary that way is not going to work on the long term, because I'm having control of all 4 quarters, so that doesn't matter much. And I forgot to mention, I'm pushing my war machine forward to reach the zone of the organ gun, and from turn 3 I will be able to shoot his organ gun basically. Magic phase, I'm getting, this time I'm getting tidal flame, kill 2, get fireball, kill some more, and he dispelled this time the pyroflow. Yeah, I didn't get tidal turn 1. He's turn 2. He starts to push a bit towards the left. He gets 1 miner here, the other miner in the other corner. I'm okay with that. He stays put with the rest and is prepared to defend. Nothing too crazy shooting. He kills some Lugar on the right and left. Kills some levies as well. Yeah, he did some work from distance. I'm okay with that. I think that's the levies were shot by the flame warden, and basically is covering them with deep watch. Yeah, he gets some good position. He also got, I think, some shot with the miners maybe. No, he didn't got any shooting weapon here. Anyway, my 3, I put my overlords in front. I put my anointed in front because I think I can win those combat even if he charge me. I turn around those guys to put them a flaming token and kill some. Getting my bastion in range to shoot at those guys. My war machine is in range to start to shoot here. I'm also getting line of sight on the war machine, plus still those guys. And now it's turn 3, so I'm jumping my Lugars into the field. So basically I'm in every quarter and I'm feeling fine about the primary. He also has in all quarters, so we're going to draw this turn. But from next turn, as soon as I kill his guys, I should be fine. In magic phase, I get pyroflow, kill 4 guys here, so he hasn't many left. Yeah, I forgot to mention the fireball last turn didn't do 3 wounds on the shooty guy, but he did wounds on organ gun, and basically he had 1 wound left at the end of turn 2 due to 2 fireball. Exactly. He dispelled a fireball. I failed the dragon roar on my anointed to help me in the combat, and the rocket battery finishes the organ gun, the last wound. So basically I kill 1 organ gun, which is good news. Take some points and reduce his shooting. He's turn 3. He puts deep watch in front of me to tempt me to charge, and basically he has plenty of counter charge in place, which I'm not going to fall into the trap. He pushes towards my flank. He didn't charge. He wants to continue scoring. He just stays in front for another turn, and he keeps shooting at me. But I'm quite happy with the standoff. Actually, my Lugars are blocking a ton of points and are scoring, so I'm not too worried about that. He's getting here into my flank to shoot a little bit. I will be able to shoot him as well, and that's the way we go. He killed with he had throwing weapon. I think he killed some Lugars near the ruin in the middle, and he did also wound to my bastion with the organ gun. My turn 4. I charge here. I'm going to take both units and reform. No surprise here. I get a pyro flow and I do some, I kill those guys, and this was a mistake by my opponent because last turn he has 3 left with a flaming token on them. I should have hide them. You see, they didn't move. And I think turn 3, that's a huge mistake. Should have hide the 3 remaining guys behind the hill. Could do nothing about that. And by leaving them in the open, I cast Pyro Flow, I finish them, and I take 3 flag. And that's the secondary and some points here. Because he didn't even give me half point at this point of time. So I think it was a big mistake to leave them in the open, and I'm capitalizing on that. Rocket Battery did nothing on the Organ Gun on 5+ this time. The Bastion did 6 wounds to his Deep Watch, so they cannot really fight anymore against my Lugas in the Rin. And yeah, combat, like I said, he broke 2 times, turn around, he's turn 4. He tried to establish a bit of a trap, those guys move back, those guys try to fit in my flank, but the Lamassu is covering and nothing else. So I will be starting, you see, to get the first point this turn because I'm still into the fourth quarter and he has nothing in this quarter at least. He has nothing here, so I'm going to be 1-0 after this one, and you see the way the primary is going. It's not going to improve for my opponent. Shooting, he did 2 wounds to my Bastion, so that's nice. My turn 5, I turn around to shoot some guys in front of me. Here there is no charge. My Lugas move a bit back. I charge with the Lamassu into his copter, hoping to take them. And here I continue to shoot. Nothing crazy. Here I continue to face him. Nothing crazy as well. I take no risk. I give him only 1 long charge, and therefore he cannot really get into multiple charge. I'm sure that if he charged me, he's into the field. Therefore, I would be reroll to wound, so he has no chance really to engage something here. In the magic phase, I get Dragon Roar in the combat of the Lamassu to help me. He has a flaming token, so that's reroll to wound. Could be nice. Rocket Battery, I do 2 wounds to his organ gun. The close combat, I do 1 wound. He did also 1 back, and therefore it's going to be a draw. I think this stat is without the reroll to wound on the Dragon Roar because I see he's having a token. Okay, so I could quickly update the chart. So you see with reroll to wound, it's 1 wound. It's rather the lower hand. The middle would be between 2 and 3 wounds. Meaning, yeah, with my charge, I had a good occasion to win by a little more than that. And he's out of range of any reroll. So the likelihood that he would flee was pretty high. But unfortunately it didn't happen, and he's stick on -1. Let's move to his next turn, his turn 5. So he brings a Grudge Buster to tell me, okay, either you get stuck, I can countercharge you, or you kill my guys, then we can charge you, you can flee, and maybe we can catch you. That's his idea, or at least he get half points. He brings people all around to maybe get a final combo charge that could be interesting. Okay, why not? And that's about it. The right, we stay where we are, so I will win the primary. Cannot contest that anymore. I'm still in the 4th quarter, and he struggled to get that, so I'm going to win that one. In the close combat, yeah, this time I managed to do 2 wounds. He did 0 to me, but he stick on 7 rollable because he brought the Grey Bard. So he's still here, so basically I'm going to be stuck and need probably to flee, but yeah, that's not good. 2 rounds of Dragon Roar, and this time not rerolling, which is obviously less good. It's the first stat I show you, and so the first one with rerolling, second one without rerolling, but both time is still here, which is not nice. For me, yeah, my turn 6, I elected to take that charge. I'm not sure it was a good idea, as you will see, so I take that charge, but the problem is I cannot really pursue because then too many units are looking at me, so I'm going to turn around and reform like that, and I'm not too afraid by the combo charge. I think there's a high likelihood of not going well for him. I think I could have just reform in the same way, basically to shoot him and get more points with the shooting. I think so. Here I turn around, go away, here we're stuck in combat. The rest, nothing really matters. In the magic, he dispelled the Dragon Roar. In the close combat, I get +1 to hit on my Lamassu. Rocket Battery does 2 wounds on his organ gun. I think I get half point. And the close combat, I do 2 wounds. He does 1 wound and he sticks again. So yeah, he's going to take my Lamassu. I will only take half the copters, not kill them. This combat, he flees, and I just turn around and reform, and that's it. So I think the charge was not worth it. He's going to rally, so I take no points. I think I should have just placed myself a bit better and then shoot and just avoid this charge in the flank, which was easy to avoid, and then shoot. I think that was enough for me. So his last turn, he's able to send, I think, 1 grudge. I reform in a way that he cannot put 2, so he can send 1 grudge in. But that will be enough to take my Lamassu that already suffered 2 wounds, so he's going to take the Lamassu. I'm not going to finish the copter because he go before me, so I take only a half point. And that's more or less the end of the game. Ended up being a 17-3 because I take primary, I take secondary as well, and I take more points. I think, I take 2.5 organ, I kill the 3 unit, even after copter, and I only gave away the Lamassu. So yeah, that's a huge difference at the end. Didn't really look like, if you look at the table, but at the end, I didn't give away anything. Actually, he didn't take half point of those guys, so only the Lamassu that I attempt to combat that was still in my favor, where he stick 3 roll in a row and then is able to get me. But I think it was still worth it to throw the Lamassu, and other than that, I just played well to protect my resources, basically. So that's how we ended up. Post-game analysis, happy to start, put pressure. I think the game plan here was spot on, to go take the board control, focus on the primary, tell him, okay, you have the minus, but no matter what, I'm going to be in the 4th quarter, and at some point, I'm going to clean your minus, because they are not going to survive that long, and as soon as they are dead, I'm still in 4th quarter, so I just decided to maintain my position, instead to try to go crazy with the Lugar forward and try to engage into risky stuff. I stayed in control, took my position. On the left, you saw I push a bit, then go back inside the ruin because I didn't feel like it. It was too many units looking at me, not worth the risk. And again, try to learn from that, guys. Those of you who have less experience, those type of situation where you are in front, on the primary, on the secondary, on point. Why would I go crazy forward and go into risky combat? I mean, there is no purpose for me because I take risk to lose like 500 of Lugars, stuff like that, to put him back in the game in exchange of what? This is 17. I mean, I can maybe take 18 based on that, but the opposite of that is maybe I'm risking to go back to 15 or 14. So you always have to have that kind of risk management in your mind and think, is it in my interest to go and open the variance, open the risk, and how many points am I giving on this play in comparison to what I can lose? And I mean, no need here. There is no need to risk anything. It's a 17 with total control. At no point I was in any danger. That's the type of game I like. Not the most exciting one, I agree. Not the most, thrilling one to follow on battle report. But it's about control, strategy, and at the end, result with a high likelihood. And that's what I like, and that's what for me is the 9th age in team event about, to be honest. I think I get that in solo event, you might take more risk and play differently. But here, every point is worth it, and definitely the control of a big win is huge. And is counting a lot at the end of a tournament. Because many times that you can secure those big wins without risk, it's gold. I think it's gold, and it's definitely my target. If I can have every game in the year like that, I'm okay. No problem for me. On the micro level, the minus were a bit given away for free. I think if we consider a high level topic, that he had this secondary to save his flag, and his plan was to defend, he was never going to win that primary. And I think he didn't realize that soon enough. Because if he would have, he could have just saved the miners in the back line, saved those points, that are worth a lot of points, and not give away secondary. And I think, all put together, that may be worth like 2-3 points. So we're moving back from 17 to 14. So that's huge. So I think the miners were a bit given away for free. It looks tempting to go in my back line, but I think it was more of a false sweet spot, kind of a trap. Turn 5, expected more from Lamassu charge, we talk about that. Shooting instead of charging with the Bastion, that's more of a detail. Obviously for him the matchup was horrible. I think I should have avoided that matchup in the pairing, and it's not okay that he get that one because it's too bad to have 2 organ gun with flaming shot against a full resistance or 2-up ward save army against fire. I mean that makes no sense. So I think they should have paired better to avoid that because that was probably one of the worst match they could get in the whole game, and this ended up being a very bad loss for them. That being said, I think he could have maybe more proactive on the flanks. I think the Grudge were almost all game long kind of stuck on the right with no goal to achieve. So I think he could have done something different with at least having a Grudge on the left to try to push, get a stronger flank, try to be more dangerous. Here, all his threats were a bit blocked on the right flank, where I was happy to get a standoff because the whole time I was scoring on the two half of the 2 quarter of this part of the map, so I wasn't too worried about that. Anyway, let's go back to the round. We had 3 good wins and a heavy loss. Shizu, who it was funny because they played that in the training and he thought, oh yeah, I can do probably better. He got a heavy loss, but he thought, yeah, it could go better. That was some event, and this time it went bad as well. And I think he realized as well that it wasn't so good of a matchup, and definitely a negative. So here I would say matchup rating mistake. Other than that, we have Gaspacho, who was on positive matchup 1, me positive matchup 1, and Lichmeister doing really well on an equal matchup, which brings us to a second victory, but far away from the cap. 9 points from the cap, so we start to lose some points. Obviously a lot of points in the table where we lost, but that's how it goes. Team event, if you get a big loss, obviously it's very hard to recover. Anyway, we still continue with the win, so solid 2 rounds. Next round we are going to play against another French team. It's going to be interesting, and then we will have round 4 and 5 against Italian teams, so you will see some interesting battle reports coming up. Guys, thanks a lot for watching. Talk to you soon. Take care.